Hi everybody, it is Bonkai922. Those people who those people who took a look at that live stream and gave your comments, I thank you, and I should let you know that I'm going to review Tempest. I will do an anime series review, however, on K, so look forward to that. And I apologize that that live stream went absolutely nowhere. Oh my god. Everybody was in that conversation. Zoro Fanboy, Luffy Super Saiyan, Gavin, King of Lightning. It went absolutely crazy. Okay. Fairy Tale time! Um, Chapter 102. This one was like, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5, but the way this ended. Alright, so basically we get the introductions. Cardis is there, Yukino is there. Yukino's saying she's a temporary sergeant of the part of the army of the Kingdom of Fury that's stationed in Crocus. And basically, Cardius is there and he's explaining to them that in order to open the door, you need the power of a celestial wizard for a certain strategy. And he asked Yukino for the help. That's the whole thing. Cardius asked Yukino because she was a celestial wizard. And we have this interesting confrontation between Natsu and Arcadius, like, you know. And it's kind of like getting heated, saying, oh, why you need a celestial wizard? If you've got something to say it clearly. And then he says, come with me. And then Yukino's there, and she's telling Lucy, she's like, Lucy-san, I will ask you too. If this plan is successful, we will be able to defeat Zeref and Arcadios. So, they take them to the Flower Light Palace, Mercurius. Now, that's already a bad idea. So, take them there, and they're basically, I would like to apologize for trying to, he's just there, you know, Arcadius is saying he's apologizing to Lucy for, that he tried to kidnap her and everything, and, you know, he's apologizing there, but, and saying it was a hasty decision, and so on and so forth, and what ended up happening is he's explaining to them that the tournament was an attempt to obtain great magic from various wizards and so on and so forth. And he's saying you could say whatever you will about it while stealing people's magics for the sake of this certain project. Eclipse, a door that can change the world. Large amount of magic power is needed to build it. And it's basically a door they see. And it basically, when the sun intersects with the moon and the 12 keys come together, that's when it's supposed to work. That's when Arcadius sells the 411 and says if you open the door, you will be able to travel back 400 years and defeat Zeref before he was immortal? When I heard him say that, first of all, I'm thinking, you know, where's Marty Mcfly? Yes, I went there. Where's Marty Mcfly? Where's Doc Brown? When did fairy tale become Back to the Future? We're sending you back to the future. Oh, by the way, FYI, not to go real crazy here. Christopher Lloyd's gonna be at Comic-Con. Just thought I mentioned that. Okay. This whole that whole back 400 years ago. I'm like, what is this? Back to the Future? It's like time travel. Time travel in fairy tale? That totally held me off. I'm still saying it's a good chapter because now he's explaining this to him, and they're all shocked and like, "Oh, travel back in time. We want the help of a celestial spirit to use the dimensional boundary line of the celestial spirit world to open the door." And then everyone's saying, "Oh, it's on July 7th, and that's when the dragons disappeared, and that's when the kingdom's army shows up to confront them." So, and what ends on happening after that is, now, once again, I just must say about the whole time travel thing, but I'll get to it later. The thing about zeref. Now, the army shows up, Kingdom's army, and he says, that guy, the Minister of the Defense. That's who he is. This guy's the Minister of Defense, and he says to Colonel Cardius, to be quiet, and saying that I should say that it's obvious, outrageous that you would reveal national top secret information to outsiders. And then he starts screaming at Cardius, saying, "Of course I'm against it. He's saying, "Of course I'm against it. It will change history. How can you even imagine how dangerous that would might be, brat?" And he's like, "Oh, Gramps," And the whole premise of it was that, and I think it was Wendy and Happy and Charlie were saying, you're changing the present by doing this. And here's the weirdest part of the chapter. The guy says them, "Oh, arrest! I'm arresting you for you against for treason against the country. I'm going to arrest Yukino Arcuria and Lucy." Huh? "Expel the others from here." I'm like, and even Lucy's like saying, "Why me? Like, what did she do?" Arcadios is the one you want to arrest, and maybe Yukino. That's it. And then Natsu tries to use magic, but obviously it doesn't work because he's telling him it's not going to work here, and his magic gets absorbed. It was a system to steal small parts of a original magic to send it to Eclipse. If you try using magic when you're so close, you'll be able to resolve. Don't cause a ruckus. Wizards are unable to use magic against considered enemies of the Fire Army. And then start grabbing Lucy. He says, "Wait, let go." And that's when we see him say, "I won't allow you to activate Eclipse." Aha! So now this guy just did this because saying, "Lucy, you're under arrest because why?" "Oh, yeah, you're a celestial wizard." Huh? Like, if you have Arcadios and fucking Yukino, why do you need to arrest Lucy as well? Anyway, so he sends Natsu and the others out, and he says, "I would like you to understand that this is not simply my will, it's all for the sake of the country. However I have an advice for you. His Majesty really likes fairy tale. If you win the tournament, I will let you have an audience with him. He's a magnanimous person. I'm sure he will show consideration toward your friend." And then we see chapter 303. the strategy of the two fronts. And that's where the chapter ends. Now, I'm going to get Mage Facepalm. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5, but this guy, Minister of Defense, who are you fucking fooling? Like, you realize that you just took Lucy, who's part of Queen Fairy Tale, and you put her in jail. I mean, you're like interrupting the tournament? The whole part of that guy, that Minister of Defense, that pissed me off, was like, you've already gotten Arcadios, and you're going to put him in jail. And you're putting Yukino in jail. Why are you putting Lucy in jail? Did not understand it. Completely did not understand why they needed to put Lucy in jail. I was like, huh? Now, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Here's the kicker for this chapter. Arcadios said, traveled 400 years in the past before Zeref was immortal. Now, that tells me two things. Number one, 400 years ago, that is when Arcanogia, when he was human, turned into a dragon. Here's what I think happened. I think Arcanogia represents Zeref. This is just my opinion. You could say what you will, but I'll give it this way. Remember what Zeref said when he was first awakened? He says, "Oh, you've brought calamity to everything now. Kill Arcanogia. Kill Zeref. Zeref, 400 years ago, this is what I think happened. His heart, or his, I guess you can say conscious, is in Arcanogia. Think about that. Let that swirl in your brains for a couple minutes, because I think it's true. I think it's not far-fetched. It's within the real parameters to say that Zeref and Arcanogia have a link to one another. So, in order to defeat Zeref, he became immortal because of Arcanogia. Something along those lines, because that's the whole thing with the whole immortal. When he said immortal, before he became immortal, it brings up a good point. Like, maybe that's the story. That's what happened. He became immortal because of Arcanogia, or vice versa to some extent. But that's what I got. Now, I'm giving it 4 out of 5, like I said. The only thing that pissed me off about this chapter is fucking Minister of Defense. Like, what are you doing? Oh yeah, Lucy, send her to jail too. I'm not gonna allow you to do the eclipse plan. I'm an old geezer. Hurry, sonny. Like, are you stupid? Or are you just born that way? You already got Arcadios in jail. You have him for treason. Okay, him and Yukino. Alright? So why are you putting Lucy in jail? Doesn't he realize once Natsu and the others tell Makarov and all this other shit, they're gonna start something? Now, but maybe it's for the best. I don't know. It just seems weird that they would do that. But like I said, 4 out of 5. It was a good chapter. It's just the whole thing with him putting Lucy in jail. I'm like, man, why? Why? Makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. But regardless of that, this was a good chapter of Fairy Tail. What do you guys think? Do you think the reason why this guy sent Lucy to jail was because of the whole, oh, you're part of the Eclipse plan and we don't want the Eclipse plan to go ahead? So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think? What's going to happen? I believe that that's the story with Zeref. His connection to archaeology, almost like his heart is inside of archaeology. He's conscious. So yeah. It's been Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. Not defensive. That guy, Mr. Defense. Where'd you put your crazy pills, man? Get out of here. I'll see you guys.